Hello everyone and welcome to D&D with Kristi. I am Kristi. This is my D&D session that I run every Sunday with my friends. My D&D friends. My D&D family. And by tradition, we kick it over to Yella, who does, will be a very exciting wrap-up for the last session.
Last session we started off with a couple of black puddings that Clue was
not the Scottish
successfully guiding as.
Not the kind you get with breakfast in Scotland. Though.
No, not the fun kind. I mean,
it's more Yorkshire thing, but yeah.
The things that are actively trying to eat us. So Clue started guiding them. We basically just started chipping them down. Then Velric decided to stand slightly too close and did get finally smacked in the face by one.
Yeah, he did.
But the party came out of that one looking fine, taking no damage, so that's great. After which we found a secret room with
Felvar greater than black pudding.
Yeah.
When it comes to party damage.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that's mostly because Stilvar is like significantly smarter than these things.
Yeah, true.
And can actually, walk like at a decent speed. After those oozes, we found a secret room with a whole bunch of shit in it. After which we continued looking through rooms on the other side, where we found an anvil and a hammer, and then Mara hit the hammer on the anvil. We all got 10 temporary hit points, and a hole opened up in the ground. After which we went down the hole, met a...
Mara had to tell a secret.
Oh yeah, so she went with the entire...
Yeah, because the hole was in a different room.
Yeah. Oh yeah, hole was in a different room, yeah.
You got electrocuted by something.
We had to...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Basically, now everybody is aware that Mara is war.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're aware that Mara thinks she's war. Like, we haven't established that thing as a truth-telling thing, so for all we know, Mara's just delusional, technically.
Well, it did say that, like, there had to be a secret, yeah, that, so, whatever it was, the room judged it to be of sufficient... merit to open the secret.
So we at the very least know that Mara thinks that's the truth, but not necessarily like proof that it is actually true.
Mm-hmm.
After secret, we went down the hole, met a quote-unquote dwarf who had dragon staff and was protecting the dragons.
Barok Klanghammer.
Barok, yes. Quotes again, Arok Klanghammer. So we decided to try and have a conversation with the guy. He wasn't particularly budging about getting orders from Neverember. Clue tried to charm person him, which just fucking auto-failed, so Clue kind of shot himself. Then we continued talking to him, realizing that Renier might be able to get him to work with us. So we sent friends with a message to go and get Renier.
And then War nearly got us all killed.
And then War just went like, oh, where are you saying you and I? Somehow, even though she has no clue who they are.
So, okay, as of right now, Mara healed
Barok's
dwarf.
She almost killed us all by doing harm to him, but she didn't heal him.
No, that was the person playing War or playing Mara wanting to fuck around and find out, but has enough sense. But as Mara was healing, War noticed that he felt the same as the stone, and thus is assuming that the dwarf and the stone are the same.
You're assuming this is somehow an aboleth, even though that makes no sense if you know what aboleths are.
But Mara, this is it. Like, War isn't from this world.
Doesn't know shit.
Mara doesn't know shit about aboleths. That's entirely a character, yeah.
And so I think you ended on a pretty intense confrontation where you had sort of like said something about recognizing each other.
Yes.
And all this while, Chloe is, just cleaning up a bit, just get your hide some dust.
Oh yes, before we get to, let's hold the moment of intense drama for a second, because I did want to mention what it is that you see in all the other alcoves really are empty in this area, except for ones we put out last time. Dragons, coins, like thousands of pounds of or kilos of weight, and some we were to dust out in order to the request of Barrock. You see that there's really the only thing that's in here are about 65 gemstones that are just kind of piled neatly in a little corner, and yet he called this his room.
I mean, while he's there, Chloe's just gonna take one of those gemstones and just shift it slightly.
How big are those
just move it.
By the way, the gemstones here too have the same kind of sheen that the ones in the other room you found as well. So, yeah, and that's what you see. So yes, Mara, Barrock is sort of looking at your face intently, and he gets a little bit of a smile on his face. You notice that as he kind of moves his head a bit, he seems to relax and get this smile on his face. And as you do, you know how people in their eyes, sometimes they have little flashes of other colors in there, streaks of other colors. When his face moves against the candlelight, you notice that those little shafts, or those little strokes of alternate color, they aren't really colors. They remind you of icons from Earth. The really gilded ones that sometimes if you walk past them in a holy place or a public building or something, they get a kind of a gold metallic sheen to them. And you can almost see, it's weird, this almost dazzling effect of these little specks of lights in his eyes. And he says, they tell me all the time, Barrock Klanghammer, why is it that you have a face that looks like everyone, but no one in particular? I don't think we've met before, my lady. I think I just have a very common dwarf face, common dwarf features. But yes. Well. So when is Renee getting here anyway?
Well, it hopefully shouldn't be too long. Our friend that we sent is pretty fast, but it'll probably be longer coming back, because I don't think Renee can move quite as fast.
Speaking of which, when friend gets there, how would Nez would all three of them rush back immediately? Would they go get breakfast and stroll their way down? Would they how would friends got this message now?
I think the message just said to come, so I assumed they, to be honest, would they? Because it's a pretty vague message. We didn't write a full letter explaining the situation, which should have, but so I assume that come fairly fast. They're not gonna run over here, but
okay. Well, let's say that let's do some rolls for how quick they all move. So as a group thing, I don't think Renier gets much in the way of his speed. But if you want to roll an athletics for friends, and an athletics for Nez, I will check Renier's stats and roll for him, and we'll see how quickly they can get over.
Poor friend, not doing much today.
And Kristi totally just took all the wind out of my sails.
I'm sorry.
By the way, all of the wind, all of my contingency plans just went right out the window, and I went, "Oh well, fuck."
It's good to have them. You might need those contingency plans later. You don't know.
This guy can kill us all if he wants to.
Well, at this point, War is just pouting because she was just going "Oh shit, oh shit."
Like I said, it and you know, it was the kind of the it was War who got the shudder of like awe, dread, potency, but not Mara. So she's fine. She's like, hey, cool old dwarf dude.
And Perry hasn't even come round to the corner yet.
Wow. Well, Renee got smacked in the middle. He got an 11. So I think that, yes, I'm going to say that they sort of come over at an average speed. And I just want to, for the purposes of like knowing what's happening on that side, am I right in saying that, so Friend leads them back to the house, shows them the secret entrance, takes them down. The vault door was still open, right? You have the stones, but you haven't closed it?
We gave Friend the stones so he can open and close them himself.
Okay. All right, so they go through, and then what? There's the rope hanging, correct?
Yeah, I guess Friend would lead them up the rope, yeah.
Okay. And then I guess I need more athletics rolls. Nez, Friend, and Renee.
Could Friend do that off acrobatics? Because he's way better at those.
That is fine. Whatever works.
Don't fail us, Nez.
I don't think Dex is gonna help Renee very much. Oh, maybe. I'll give him a +2. Oh, he got an 18. Okay. So much better on the climbing. Yeah, and I'm also, I think Friend had a sense of urgency that you guys really, this wasn't like tomorrow. So he is also kind of with his body language, because I don't think Nez speaks Waterdeep sign language, but just like, God, we need to go. Excellent. All right, so I'm going to say that in about the time it takes everybody else to do a short rest, they've gone, Friend's gone out, found the house, communicated the message, and Renier basically just like, took his weapons, nothing else in particular, special, just sort of like was summoned. And they climbed up. You can hear them now as they're kind of coming down the hallway, arriving. So, but I didn't want to steal your thunder, Kelsey. Was there anything after that?
No.
Okay.
No. You it was all based on what you came up with,
fair
Kristi,
enough.
and I can't read your mind.
No.
So I was just running under the assumption that I had other plans, and apparently you are a nicer DM than I think you are.
No, Barak's actually like a really patient being. You know?
I mean, makes sense. Things considered.
So you start to hear footfalls and voices. Are you all gonna wait? Are you gonna go with confab? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, Clue is gonna go and try and intercept them to have a quick chat with Renier before they do it in front of the, once again, air quotes, dwarf.
Mara was taking her short rest at the foot of the stairs, so...
Okay. We'll hang out in his room and have a snack. Like he's going to kind of get his stuff ready because he figures he's going to leave after this, so he wants to, go sort out his room.
His room.
Awesome.
Yeah. Aisle, room, what's the difference?
They're coming down the hallway. You see Renier and Nez and Friend. Friend looks very excited. Like he keeps like sort of presenting Renier. Like I brought him. I get signs. Like I got him. I found him. I got him.
Clear signs back. Good job.
It gives you a thumbs up.
Mara's like applauding.
He takes
It's
a
like,
little
yay!
bow. There's a little bow. Seems like just
Are we
like
moving into the central chamber for that?
Because Clue is definitely trying to catch him as early as possible because he wants to be out of earshot.
Yeah, actually, I didn't think I got Renier here as a named NPC. I didn't think to bring him in. Let me just pull him over into the hallway. R in his name. He is. Long. Going into Kelsey. All right.
Welcome to my madness.
Yeah. basically
There he is.
he almost topped Perry.
He's slightly on top of Perry right now, yeah.
Perry, where I was, I didn't put him there on purpose.
Oh. It's okay.
Good eye.
Oh, for the love of Mike.
Do we want this token as well, or?
I mean,
If you want.
Sure. Mhm.
By the way, I did try to set this to daylight because I don't want the lighting. Even when I changed it.
I mean, it is the daylight mode currently. Because if it's not daylight mode, night vision ranges are it here. It's literally just line of sight is being considered. If you want that to be off, you'd want to turn off dynamic lighting completely.
Oh, I want to turn off dynamic lighting completely because I'm done with this. You guys, all right, boom. All right, so now you guys see everything?
Yeah.
Yay!
Yep.
Cool.
Okay,
Oh
because
my God.
you guys have seen basically.
Including the apparently inside the walls.
Oh right, that was I moved it to remember where the secret wall was. Is there an S floating around somewhere?
Yeah, in the right wall.
Over here by here?
Here. There's just a S.
I think I just.
yeah.
Sorry,
Inside the wall.
I just moved it. I think that was just a. Yeah, don't worry about that. There's nothing secret there. I think I just moved it from another session. So, yeah, because I have seen now everything. And by the way, these figures down here, those are just the drow who were it was too much hassle to move them with dynamic lighting before, so I will now move them into your area. That's Felric, Jarlaxle, Saloon, and Kribbig. So that's, why okay.
Oh, did we ever get a Jarlaxle reaction to what Mara shared?
You haven't seen it yet, but there has been a reaction, yes.
Okay, awesome.
I had to think about how he would react to that. So yes, you haven't seen it yet, but you will.
Fun.
Excellent. Oh, I love daylight mode. Okay. So much
So much simpler.
Yeah.
All right. So I think, do I have an extra? Yeah, I have an extra Felric now, I think. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So, the drow all kind of like basically hang back because they let you take the lead, with dealing with Renier. This is kind of your dig, so they're just supporting and then not intruding unless they're invited. So Renier's like, yes, what is it? I came as soon as I got the message. What's going on?
So Renier, we ran into guy who appears to be the guardian of this place. Calls himself Baroque Clanghammer, says he knows you. Pretty sure it's not his real name.
I don't recognize Baroque Clanghammer as a name.
You recognize or Renax?
I'll roll intelligence, but it's almost. Yeah, we'll see. See how smart. Who knows? He might crit. What's your intelligence? I should tab him, but I wasn't like. Okay. Maybe +4, but I guess it doesn't matter because he really, really needs like a high score. No. Even with a +4, 12 isn't going to do it. Shakes his head. Says,
Well, he definitely knows you. So
apparently you were a baby though, so
yeah, but he's under orders of your father, and if you can just quickly pretend your father sent you here so we can take all of this out, I mean...
Oh, yeah. He doesn't know none of the stuff your dad knows.
Oh, right. Sorry, I'm catching up here. So you're telling me that someone who knew me as a baby is
a dwarf.
A dwarf who knew me as a baby.
Dwarf. Just very obvious air quotes.
Right, something that looks like a dwarf that knew me as a baby has been under the ground protecting the stolen money, not knowing my father stole it.
Yes.
Yeah.
He thinks it's his money.
Yes.
Oh, God.
So we gonna need you to, go out there and lie about your relationship with your dad and just get him out of here so we can finish this mission.
Oh, and if you can get that staff on him, make him leave that here too. That'd be good, though. That'd be good.
All right. Is there anything else I need to know before I go out? Like, anything happened before I came, or anything else you told him?
He's the dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
You can jump person him. Important to know. Does not work.
He's
so
old.
Don't make him angry. He can probably kill all of us, quite frankly. So tact is important.
He has a bad back.
Okay.
He's kind of creepy.
He's not that creepy.
He's kind of creepy.
Renier, I think we've given you all the information we can give you. Just going to give you a little bit of this.
Oh.
And just kind of pushes him on the back. Go have fun.
All right, let's go in.
Try not to die.
Thanks, Bara. He walks
Bara's
in.
really tempted to follow Renier.
He says, "No, please come, please. I need backup if anything goes wrong. Don't leave me alone. Come, all of you. You too, Felric.
I'll provide backup from the other side of the room.
You guys all suck. You're chickens.
So
yeah,
this is
you can
good.
make fun of
Continue
me
playing
when
bodyguard.
he kills us all with a fucking AoE attack.
You notice that Saloon hangs back. He doesn't join the rest. He seems to be hanging out by the stairs. Just FYI. Renier walks into the large cavernous room. His steps echo, and this whole area now, is sort of is lit by magical light or torchlight. So it's not bright light. Oh no, there's sunlight coming in from the top that I read, wasn't there? So you can tell that it's getting to be sort of like midday light. Renier walks in and says, "Honorable Barok Clanghammer, I am Renier Neverember, son of Dagold, your servant." And he makes he sort of like gets to about there where he can make eye contact with Barok. And he does a very deep bow and holds it. And Barok walks over. He approaches Renier while he's still, in a bowing position. Renier wouldn't be able to see this, but the rest of you watch as Barok sort of leans in and takes a deep inhalation of near Renier, and then gets a very big smile on his face.
Oh boy.
And says,
"Dwarves being scent based."
Says, "Barok Clanghammer, Master Renier Neverember, your servant." And he bows as well. You notice that his mood has changed. Renier sort of like at this sort of, ends his bow. Barok ends his bow. And Barok's mood has definitely changed. He was like polite to y'all, but y'all were sus.
I mean, fair enough.
Someone, did try to just enchant him. So he wasn't too sure that you were going to bring him the right Renier. But now he's definitely...
Yeah, that this guy's self-plan of that clue was maybe thinking of using definitely would not have worked.
Oh shit!
I mean, I was afraid of true vision, but sense also a thing.
Well, little Renier, you probably don't remember me. It was many years ago that we were introduced, but I remember you, and I remember a Neverember when I meet. I know a Neverember when I meet one. You are your father's son, and so handsome. Let me see how you've grown, boy. And he sort of holds up, like in a very dwarven way, but still like dad-like, kind of grabs his hands and looks at him. And he's, "Oh yes, a fine, healthy lad. Good for you. Good for you. Well, it seems you are well placed to take over from your father's responsibilities here. So." he pulls out the dragon staff, and he says, Master Renier Neverember, I have served my obligation to your father. I now commend unto you the responsibility to guard and protect his wealth. And you see him kind of close his eyes. The staff begins to shimmer, almost like a mirage on a hot highway. And then he opens his eyes and hands it over to Renier. He says, now, before you go, before we do anything else, I have to explain this staff to you. Now, you see, a long time ago, many moons ago, the DM read the instructions for this magical item incorrectly. And so, I must now retcon it for her.
Lord help us all.
This guy is more powerful than we even thought. He breaks the fourth wall.
To be fair, it was the thought of the player that sprung it on them rather early.
You see, the first open Lord of Waterdeep was Agaran, and he wanted to protect the city. He set up the masked lords, the whole system, after having wrestled power away from faction-fighting nobles into a more democratic, diffused power system. But there were still threats from the outside world. It was very dangerous. And so, in his tower, which, if memory serves, when I went down here, is really only about 5 minutes up the road, his tower stands. And inside his tower, Agaran cast the dragon ward on what was then the limits of the city of Waterdeep. And the dragon ward sits like a magical dome, paper thin, but in a perfect circumference covering, well, the old city. Parts of the new city now are completely free of the dragon ward because the dragon ward stayed the same while the city has grown. But it covers most of the harbor and most of the castle ward, the important areas of administration and whatnot. Well, it's not good enough, not all dragons are bad, are they? And sometimes it's quite, dragons sometimes like to take humanoid form and walk through cities and help people and not cause any trouble at all.
Indeed. We have a couple of dragon friends that we were looking to help.
Exactly.
A bronze and a brass.
I don't think either of them can turn into humans just yet.
They're babies.
Yes,
And I love them with all of my heart.
Yes, but the point was we were trying to protect them from a roving green dragon spotted in the area.
Oh, greens. He sort of gets a little snarl in his eyes, and then he kind of catches himself. Oh, I'm sure that's a terrible thing for dragons, green dragons. Bastards. Anyway. Well, of course, not all dragons are bad, and some of them need passage. Yes, and so Agaron's intention was never to keep out all dragons, only the dragons who didn't belong, or who could cause trouble. And so he created this staff. And he sort of, the staff that he handed to Renier. Now, whoever attunes to this staff has the power to give a dragon permission to either enter the city of Waterdeep or to remove that permission. It's also a quite flexible spell if you wanted to give a dragon permission for, let's say, the lifetime of the owner of the staff, or for a certain period of time, or certain years of the day. Whatever you set as the conditions stay, basically, in perpetuity until, and this takes another use of the staff's power, is to tap the dragon again, and then their ability to pass through the wall will no longer be there, and they don't leave as long as they don't leave Waterdeep, they're fine. But once they pass through the dome, after their permission has been removed, they no longer can get in again without getting a little poke of the stick, as it were. So it's take care of it. Be careful who you grant permission to, and yes, enjoy your wealth and protecting your father's goods.
Oh, don't worry. We'll protect them very much.
Renier's yes, sorry, go ahead.
Is Thalvar talking or is Renier talking?
Sorry, Thalvar just said something if Mara wants to say something.
No, no, I'm just no. Never mind. I'm tired.
Okay, that's fine. Renya's like, Belvar, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't deceive you, Barrock. There's something before you leave that I think you should know, because at some point you will know, and I want you to hear it from me. And first, I want to thank you for your service. You've preserved, I am sure, every coin that was put into your charge, and it will be returned exactly as it was found. But it won't be going to me, and it won't be going to my family. See, my dad, well, he stole this from the people of Waterdeep, and it is my intention to return it. So I know it wasn't what you thought you were doing, but you did protect it from theft and disbursement. I just needed you to know that my father isn't the man I thought he was, and he's not the man you thought he was.
Yes, we did try to explain this, but obviously we're complete strangers and obviously not trustworthy to a complete stranger, so we just needed you here to confirm.
Barrock. See, it's like Borat and Barrock, Barama together is like Borak. It's so hard for me, but anyway. Barrock. Barrock, sort of his shoulders slump a little bit. He said to him, truth be told, it never made much sense that he would be putting this money down here. It belonged to him and would need me to guard it. But the opportunity to spend time with so much beauty just clouded my judgment. I see that now, and you've given voice to a doubt I've harbored in my heart. So thank you for being honest, and I'm tired of this place. I'm not tired of Waterdeep. I think I want to spend some more time in Waterdeep, but this room, these walls, quite enough of this. I can't really enjoy stolen goods. They have to be, something properly mine to enjoy it.
Indeed. Well, once you're out of here, you might like to come to our tavern for a drink. I'll give you my card. Here you go.
Yes.
It's called the Old Haunt. It's up in the Castle District, in the North Ward. We have a ghost bartender,
Ooh.
Very nice fellow.
Mm. Any ales on tap?
Oh, of course.
Oh, well, yes, maybe we'll stop by. I'm sorry. One thing we have forgotten was, the little discussion of, my compensation. Your father did pledge me 5,000 gold pieces worth of gemstones for the job.
That seems reasonable.
It is, but we do not have those on hand, I think.
What about all of those? And Hibar just points at the pile of gold.
Oh, that's...
I mean, that's the city's gold. Also, not gemstones.
No, there was the pile of gemstones as well.
I mean, yeah, but I assume they're his gemstones already.
Dear sir,
Mhm.
Mara pipes up finally. Would you prefer the gold coins or would you prefer gemstones?
Gemstones.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
some
Awesome.
gemstones,
Good
but
to
not
know. And Mara
5,000
looks at Perry. Yo, Perry. XA on pouch day. And she just kind of gestures at him.
He's just going to look confused and shrug.
Barry, I did give you some gemstones we found in the secret room, but I don't think we have 5,000 worth of them.
Wouldn't it have been outpay?
I don't know.
I mean,
Did you actually give Penny the stones, or did you mean to but never get around to it?
We never actually got around to it.
I think Perry has everything.
Yeah, I think after the secret room, we did explicitly mention, explicitly said he was going to get there to get everything shoved in the bag, but then people also
Then we went down.
And then we
people also just continue doing other shit.
I have a recollection of me saying, "Don't you have a hordes person?" And Clue's like, "We don't have time for this right now." So, but yeah,
for the identification, not for
but
putting
you gathered.
it in the bag.
Yeah. I assumed you guys gathered them all up. I have them ready to go on a list. Yeah, you didn't leave them in the room. So,
I don't think that's a whole 5,000 worth. I mean, now's a great moment to check. To be honest,
no, there were some pretty big urns.
Yeah,
Let's
but
find out.
5,000 worth of gemstone, that's a lot.
We should find out first before we write it off.
Renee steps.
I mean, there's
They're
gold
like
right
100
there.
If they're 100 GP each gem, that's only like 100 gems. You get way more than that into an urn.
Yeah, but that's assuming they're pretty expensive gems. So
Yeah, I can just to remind you, like Perry would be able to whisper to you because Perry probably would have had a look, kind of to start to assess them a bit. But just in terms of the sheer numbers, there was one arm with 5 tourmaline stones. Another one had 33 blue quartz gemstones. And then there was the silver statue out of a dwarf priest of Moradin with amethyst eyes, which are technically like gemstones. So.
And the 2 prized out of the shooty statue.
Oh yeah. And your ruby eyes, I think it was. I just made up treasure.
Yeah,
They were rubies, yes.
2 red quartz stones.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
of yet unknown cost.
Perry would be able to tell you ain't nothing in this thing worth 5,000 gold pieces altogether, just from what he remembers kind of like pouring into the bag of holding.
Well, would have to look into getting you your full payment, but we could, at the very least, use these gemstones to at least give you a bit of it up front as we go to look if we can acquire to rest your ode.
Oh,
Aren't we supposed to be getting some of this gold over here as a reward for getting it?
Yeah, but we'd still have to, find a place where we can buy gemstones for them and then give them back to him.
Well, that really seems like a him problem, us problem. He just has the price tag. So would you be fine with just taking the money and then going and finding gems with it later?
Renee's like, I mean, you don't have any place to stay if you were staying here, Baroque. So if you would, maybe you could stay at Ye Old Haunt while it was a very sudden emergence of this. I have the gemstones, some in a safekeeping, but I did not bring them with me, and I would very much like to buy you dinner and present you with them formally, as as thanks. Would that work out? Sorry. Renee's I'm doing a little bit of mixed voices here. So Renee's softer, lighter. Would that be a problem for the Ye Old Haunt to perhaps put our friend up here until we get payment so he knows we're going to take care of him?
I mean, do we still have an extra room left? I mean, I can always, if it's only temporary, I can always stay in my house in the Dark Ward, but how exactly is our room situation doing at this point?
Oh, I'll tell you what. I can...
Out of character, I do believe we do have a rope.
Yeah, I can take you to the renovated tavern to remind you.
Because we have Perry's... Oh, yeah. Nooks, didn't Friend take up the above room here, I thought? We have... That's Clue's room. Yubara's basically taken that. That's Talvar's, I think. That's Mara's.
Oh, who's got the ability to write little texts? Because I saw
everybody.
Okay, yeah. Well,
why have you just noticed what I've been doing?
If you've been going through, please put the room names on. I saw someone named Plants. That's why.
Yeah, that was Habara. They're Habara's plants.
This was Mara, I think. I don't remember if this room was a separate bedroom or...
Yeah, there's this.
That's room Mara's room over there.
Yeah, but didn't she take the owl here as well? Or I mean,
this is Jarvis's room.
Oh yeah. That one will be Jarvis then. I'm pretty sure this one was
here was going to be a guest room, and it is currently empty. Although now we have a table in there.
That became a conference room at some point.
We could move the table over here.
I mean, yeah, technically it could be. Oh, wait a second, wasn't this supposed to be the conference room and this the extra bedroom?
It's possible. I can just move the.
So yeah,
this main hallway room area was supposed to be conference area.
Okay.
Yeah, like there.
Okay, now conference area.
So this
and
is
this guest room.
Although admittedly we do have that kobold now as well, don't we? That we
No, the kobold is living.
Oh, he's on the ship. He's on the ship. Yeah,
he's got a little place.
You guys are going to need to expand the tavern. All right, so back to well, no, you got plenty
we
of
don't
them.
just keep collecting party members.
Buy the building next door and turn it into a hotel.
You say these things.
I'm not the one. I mean, Jolly. Jolly is my fault. he doesn't live in the tavern. He does not live there.
Yeah, Jolly's your fault. Gorko is Mara's fault. Friend is Thelvar's fault.
Well, Friend is kind of Mara and Thelvar's fault.
Yeah, they both did, yeah.
Yeah, I would say most of the things that are currently living in the tavern are predominantly Mara's fault, all except Jolly.
Yeah, but Thelvar was very much like, no, slavery, we must rescue him. So, yeah, there was a group effort on that one, for sure. And Hibara's got a rainbow spider, although it mostly just hangs out in her room.
Yeah, that doesn't really count. It is a tiny creature.
Yes.
It's a very tiny creature. It doesn't take up a lot of space. It can literally hide in a bush.
But it has a lot of pride. Okay.
I mean, medium-sized creatures can also hide in bushes.
I'm sure it's done depending on the size of the bush. Large creatures can too.
I mean, at that point, it does start becoming a forest.
All right, yes.
Anyway, yes. We've got the room, and I think the floors can handle it.
Excellent. Well, that's very nice of you. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about what I would do after I left the vault, but a warm bed and a strong ale certainly sounds like a nice way to start the next part of my life. Yes, well. So, I suppose it's just going to be you might need some time to organize. I'll wait for you to come let me know when you're ready. I'll just hang out here. And he just sort of like sits down a little bit. He sort of goes up against there, figuring out he's assuming that you all are going to need to talk about like the gold and stuff. So.
To save you hanging around here in this drafting vault, Renier could take you back to the old haunt, get you settled in.
Oh,
sounds like a good idea, but before you go, Renier, we're the one officially hired here, so if you give us the dragon staff, you can make sure it gets to the people it belongs to.
Yes, of course.
Oh, well,
yes.
Okay, well, yes, I suppose. And then you guys hear running. Proper, like someone is running, and from this side of it, Saloon appears and runs over to the disguised Jarlaxle. You guys don't need perception checks. There's not a lot of background noise to distract you. He is whispering to something to Jarlaxle, and Jarlaxle calls over his other drow immediately. Clue, if you want to roll perception, you can see if you can hear anything what they're saying.
I mean, if they're in my line of sight, I can also lip read. So.
Yeah, I think so, based on where you are and where they are. Not great. You think you see the words coming down the stairs.
Chloe is just seeing that is just gonna look at the rest of his team, just like grab the staff from in here and just like everybody Everybody get fucking ready, something's happening.
Jarlaxle.
Grab the staff and just go and hide behind a bit of the
Okay.
wall.
Mara looks at the dwarf and goes, "You should, dear sir, go hang out with our friend is currently copper colored. Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Would you mind hanging out with our coppery colored friend here, please? I don't want you to get caught in the kerfuffle. It would be very, very bad if you got caught in the kerfuffle."
Jarlaxle is still in his form, starts to wave all of you over. He says, please. He looks at Renier and says, my apologies for the deception, Renier, but it was necessary. He sort of lifts up his hat of disguise and takes off his disguise. He shows himself as Jarlaxle. Renier.
Mara goes, oh no, the deception.
I'm pretty sure we knew that.
Renier didn't.
We all.
No, Mara's just being a brat.
Oh, I know, but that was Ibarra.
Dramatic is the word.
Yeah, Thelvar got his hand crushed trying to prevent Mara from dropping the truth of Jarlaxle to Renier.
Yes, that's true. That is true.
Delvar got his hand crushed because he called War a child.
Yes, but we've been through that. We've found peace.
Yeah.
We've moved on.
Yes.
But yes, there was. Yes, protect.
Trying to distract Renier from what she was saying, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Renier sort of takes a sigh and says, Banray, what are you doing in Waterdeep? Jarlaxle says,
a pirate king.
Crime!
Criming.
Stuff. What people do.
I have some bad news. It seems that the Xanathar Guild has followed Renier back from his house, and they are currently sending a hit squad in to attack us. Now, before I continue...
That doesn't sound so bad.
Yeah.
Xanathar. It wouldn't be a good day if we didn't crack some Xanathar skulls.
Before I say anything else, can I just ask Nez? Where's Nez? Yeah, there.
Next to Renier.
Yes. Nez, before you, his purple eyes, his violet eyes, turn toward Nez and say, Nez, tell me you did the sensible thing and left the trap door open in case you didn't know how to open it again when you came down the stairs.
I just followed the instructions as best I understood them. It is still open.
Excellent. Now, before anything else, I think we need to decide whether or not we want to take the risk and close that door, because one of the things I know is that the group has gazers to scout, and if a scout gazer found its way down the trapdoor, it would give away our position. The downside is, if we close the trapdoor, we don't know for sure how the mechanism works to open it to get out again. So I put it to you, we should make a decision.
I'm pretty sure we've killed those before.
Also, is it a problem that they know we're down here? This place seems to have some pretty good choke points.
Well,
I mean, yeah, there's only that one
correct. It doesn't
stairwell.
matter if they know we're down here, if you just die coming down the stairs.
All right, what if I told you that there were 10 gazers, 10 veterans, a drow mage, and 2 grells on the way?
I don't know what that last one is, but that does sound a lot worse.
Yeah, that seems like the kind of thing you need to be prepared for.
I think we need to deal with the trapdoor situation first, and then I have a bit more information.
Well, do any of you guys know if gazers have true sight? Because I can just go invisible and pop up there and have no risk of them seeing me.
The bar knows everything.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you've dealt with gazers before. You don't remember them acting it ever like they had true sight. They do have, they were small, they were very mobile, they flew. They did seem to have dark vision.
I don't think they have true sight.
In that case,
But either way, you should leave the staff here. Navarre holds out her hand.
fair enough. Turns around, gives the staff to Perry.
Wow.
I trust you, man. And Clue is gonna run towards the stairs, turn invisible, and start going upstairs, which I assume takes a hot second.
Yes.
Perry, give me the staff now.
If Clue's invisible, he can close it from the other side and just hide invisible up there. And when they're gone, because he'll know when they're gone, and then let us out.
I mean, I'm assuming they only stay there for like an hour, because invisibility doesn't take forever.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's let me just have
Jarlaxo calls back. He's like, okay, all right, I thought that maybe we could just deal with this, but I think maybe I need to give you a full grasp of the situation. It's going to take more time. We're going to lose it, but I don't want everyone going off half-cocked. All right. He kind of looks at Renier. He looks at you all and looks back at Renier. He seems to be calculating how much to talk about, how much to tell, what's about to come out of his mouth. He takes a moment. He says, I may have, last year, assigned Saloon's brother, Neril, the task of infiltrating the Xanathar Guild. And it may be the case, actually it is the case, that...
is he the mage person?
He is the mage person.
That's how you know it's a drow mage.
He sent a message to his brother, informing us that they are on his way. Now, the problem is, Narelle, being a drow in a Xanathar world, actually thrives. We are good at situations where people are constantly paranoid and suspicious of each other, and so he was able to move his way up the ranks over the course of the last year, and we are conveniently at a point of disrupting Xanathar's operations in 2 weeks' time. Now, this has all changed my timetable. However, I have two options here with Narelle. He is getting very close to Xanathar and having avoided suspicion. He's also done the tactical thing of putting all the obvious people who could be suspected in front of him. And there are now pretty much nobody left for the Xanathar. There are very few people for the Xanathar to be suspicious of, and his suspicion has fallen on Narelle in the last 2 weeks. The Grell bodyguard, ostensibly for his protection, are probably there to turn on him the moment he shows any disloyalty and kill him. I need him. I'm so close to this operation. That's... If we pull him out now, if we kill the Grell, he will turn for our side and help us with the rest of the Xanathar. Or we can give them a bit of a fight, a play fight, let Narelle get away with something to save face to the Xanathar, and my operation can continue. But nothing is going to happen if one of those gazers comes down the trapdoor and finds us here. They're all going to immediately come. I think we need to make our stand... ideally out there in the vault rather than trying to get backed into a corner back here.
This whole time Navarre has been poking Perry.
I mean...
Why do you want the bloody stuff?
Good question. Would they have just done this and interrupted Clue from going to the stairs, or is he already gone?
No, he would have.
No.
He would have called you back because...
I mean, Perry, if you give me a psychic link, I can... scout that for us. I can also, if things really get dicey, teleport. That's a thing I can do.
Also, wouldn't it just be easier, and the whole time she's saying she's still poking Perry, wouldn't it just be easier do you need him alive?
My man, yes, I'd very much prefer him. I wouldn't want to see what Saloon would be like if his brother died.
I guess I should say, do you need him alive in the Xanathar Guild, or just alive in general?
Well, this is why if we can get the trapdoor shut and make sure we're not locked in, I will have time to explain the full situation to you.
I believe he needs him alive inside the guild to disrupt their operations in 2 weeks' time, which brings me to what I would like to say, Jarlaxle. You see, we too have a job to disrupt Xanathar operations pending. So maybe we help you here and you allow us to help with your operation in 2 weeks' time.
What's your plan? He asks.
Guys, maybe we do this after the trapdoor is closed.
Yes, let's do this after the trapdoor is closed.
Also, I just remembered my invisibility does last an hour, so if I just stay outside, I can always open the door from there within that hour if they haven't left already.
Well, part of the reason why I wanted to move it to daylight was because, when you come up now, you're going to be coming up in this narrow little room here with this 10-foot door here. Right, so you'll be able to see out into the cavern, but this is a very, very obviously confined space.
So, Barry, link me up. I go outside, close the door, observe some stuff.
Okay, so I'll just fast forward it that you go up and you come into this room here. At this point, I'll give you a flash of where some of them are, because I don't obviously want to give you everything. You'll hear voices, right? So you've got this drow mage who's basically standing in the entryway of the doors. The doors were left open, which I'm glad nobody said they shut the doors, because I set this battle up for this room. So I don't have a hallway map for this fucking battle. And what you can see are that there are 10 gazers that are zooming around, and the human, they're mostly human, look like just kind of normal thugs. They're going around and they're checking all the doors. That's just like what you did too. And Narl is standing there giving orders saying, I want this room cleared. I want to make sure there are no secret passages. I want every room thoroughly checked for any clues, any sign of them. And so he's sort of barking orders at them as they go about their business.
Oh no, they're looking for clues. There's only one.
Yeah, there's one veteran stood by who's walking over to where you have the rope dangling down. Yeah. The gazers, you can hear footsteps up that back stair where the mosaic was. You can also start to see people moving around across by where the black pudding thing was. So they're basically all over that room. They're looking around.
Well, thankfully, the rope is leading up to the room with the fake trapdoor.
No, it's the one with the real one.
Yeah, it's the middle one.
Yeah, it's the one with the real one.
But I'm trying to think, because I think technically I can just loosen that rope.
Yes, yeah, you got a hammer now.
Well, no, the hammer that gives you if you hit the anvil.
Oh, right, the extra 10p, 10 extra temporary hit points.
Now
why was that so hard to say? No,
I have no idea.
Was Clued going to do something before he went back to report?
He's going to close the trapdoor.
Okay.
And he is going to just...
You want to give me an investigation check for the inside of it to see whether or not it's got a mechanism you recognize?
He's closing it, but he can check the inside, but he is going to stay outside.
Oh, you're going to lock yourself in or out?
Out, yeah.
Okay.
I'm only doing this because I can fucking teleport away.
That's true. And you have a psychic link with Perry too. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. So with your stealth, I think you're going to also hide.
Well, he is gonna, because he assumes he's gonna go over here next to where the rope is attached, just in case.
Okay.
They start climbing it, and he can just nudge it out and just have them fall.
Okay. All right. Exposition dump. So a clue, I'm going to take it that Perry will sort of either relate to you or describe or something, so you kind of keep up. But yeah, clue dashes off. And Thelvar is telling Jarlaxle. Jarlaxle's like, that's very convenient. What's your plan for disrupting the Xanathar's operation now that we have a moment to discuss this securely?
The plan that we were tossing over was there's a group of slavers setting up that we're also wanting to deal with. And what we were thinking was we had some rumors that a particular couple of lieutenants of Xanathar were here in Waterdeep. and we were kind of planning to, let's say, off them and leave clues pointing towards the slavers that are setting up in Undermountain to kind of pin it on them so that Xanathar and these necromantic slavers take the rap and take the heat from Xanathar, cause a bit of chaos, so to speak.
He nods approvingly. I like that. It's both disruptive and sets up one of your own enemies to take the downfall. That's very interesting. Did you want to know my plan?
Yes, please.
My plan is that I've had Nero, through a bag of holding, smuggle in 20 barrels of smoke powder, and I was planning on having him work with an inside informant of the Harpers, right, Renier? He looks over. To identify structural weaknesses in various parts of the lair and blow it the fuck up.
That sounds real easy.
That sounds very interesting.
Mara hears the word blow the fuck up and just starts laughing. Like, she's been quiet for most of this. Like, she's just kind of like, I have nothing to say. There's nothing I need to say. But all of a sudden he says, blow the fuck up, and she just dies. Like, she's doubled over and laughing.
See, Gnarl has been smuggling in smoke powder with a bag of holding I've given him, especially sized for purpose. He's got a secret room deep in the lair next to his office. It's a room, he chose the office because he discovered the secret room and it was a perfect place to hide the smoke powder. We've got all of the assembled explosive ready. We are just currently waiting for Thorville. I talked to Thorville, or Nagrel talked to Thorville about doing architectural assessments in the lair, and because it's quite a large building and it's taking some time, he's wrapping up his report. So there's the other thing too, that the Xanathar will be using the secret exit to Skullport to leave his lair next week. I want to blow up the lair in 2 weeks' time because I want to make it clear that this is not an assassination attempt on the Xanathar. It's one thing to destroy his lair. It's another thing to fail to assassinate a beholder, and I might be bold, but I am not stupid.
Indeed. But yes, if we get our plan done, cause a bit of chaos, it might make things a little easier for you getting in and out.
Excellent. Well, if Renier is willing to, provide some Harper agents who can talk to his man on the inside, he would be able to fill in the rest of the information, point out the locations to you. Neril, if we get him out of this situation, would be able to draw you a precise map of the entire lair after 4 points at the yawning portal. He knows it so well, so he would be able to easily direct you to the location of the explosives, and then it's just a simple matter of dropping off the barrels at the points where the architecture is at its weakest.
Yes.
Do you know any Harpers, Renier, who might be able to take over for where I've left off? Renier says, "Can I talk with PN2C, please?" And Jarlax was like, Of course, I would appreciate it.
Baby was going down there.
I will remind you that Perry is getting continuously poked this whole entire time.
All right. Just don't do anything silly with it. Don't attune to it.
It takes an hour to attune.
The staff.
Yeah, it takes an hour to attune. You have to concentrate the whole time. So,
we know.
I know, but Sid might not. So, Renier kind of calls the rest of the party over. Hibara, Mara, Delvar, Perry. Says, was this something you would be willing to do? Looks at kind of Delvar.
Slavers.
Well, the Xanathar in this case.
Yeah, but we're putting it on slavers, so I don't see a problem here.
All right. Are the rest of you willing to take on this task? Blowing up the Xanathar's lair is quite a bold
Let's go
move.
to say something, get shut down by Perry saying, no, you're going to the ship after this.
Mara is kind of like, as long as I get goldfish sashimi, I'm fine.
Well, you might have to go to Skullport for that, because if they're attacking, if he's planning on attacking when he's in Skullport, his goldfish will be with him in Skullport, not in the lair.
Well, that's stupid. I wanted goldfish sashimi, but I'm down. I like to blow things up. I mean, one of my favorite things that got blown up was, well, never mind. None of you would know what I'm talking about. She sits there and pouts a little bit, reminiscing about World War II.
Thelva?
Of course.
And Tibara?
She is over there. She is over in the kind of corridor, clearly starting to attune to the dragon sound.
God damn it. Abara! One thing at a time.
She's just like, yeah, I don't care.
Renee's like, Habara, come on, we need you to focus right now. We've got a battle going on. Come on, the staff can wait.
Debatable, but also clues up there. It's fine. He'll be fine. He's keeping them out.
It's like,
Mara
told you not to attune.
Mara looks at Renier and goes,
Bad, Mara, bad.
Mara's not doing shit!
Be Mara, sorry. Why do you point at me, Ara? Damn it!
Mara, the staff is not yours.
Oh, come on. Just let her use it. It's not like she's hurting anybody currently.
We get through this, we can discuss who uses it. Right now, we've got immediate issues and planning for blowing shit up.
Yay! Boom, 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 boom. I want to go boom, boom. And we could be together forever and forever. Boom, boom, boom. And she just, like, Mara's just singing. Just enjoying. Just vibing.
Jarlaxle.
You get to set things on fire.
Boom, boom.
I already said I don't care. It's fine.
God damn it.
Jarlaxle says, oh yes, Renier, we will have to talk about the staff afterwards, because I made an agreement with the party that they would give it to me. But I will explain everything, and if we can work together on blowing up the Xanathar lair, I'm sure we can work together on the staff, but let's put a pin in that for right now, right? Renier is not happy. Like, shit's going down all over. He's just frustrated. Like, all right.
Clearly setting up Home Alone traps at the spot now. Just putting a bunch of ball bearings down here, getting ready to cut a rope here.
And meanwhile, he's just getting Perry going, this has got to shit.
If you recall, the Pitten was only moderately well in there, so you could probably
but Clue also has fucking noodle alarms.
Well, that is true.
Like he's probably gonna have a better time getting the knot loose with sleight of hand than he is trying to pull the piton out.
That's true.
All right, so Jarlax is like, but for the moment, let's see if we can plan how we can get out of this situation and get Narel back in one piece. So he starts sketching out.
To extract now, or?
Well, he walks over, he kind of encourages you all over to an area where it's still very dusty in the corner, and he'll like get his like glove on his hand, and he'll start drawing basically this map. Right? And he says, look, my main concern is that we only have one entrance and exit. And if they manage to get us all bottlenecked up in here with some area of effect spell, they're going to take us all out. So, clues up there, that's helpful, but I think we need a plan to deal with the fact that they have all of the ground level, the second level, and we have to come out of a trapdoor one at a time. That I think is our biggest tactical challenge.
If it wasn't for his noodle arms, we could get Clue to close the door not completely, but enough to give us some cover as we got out. After that, I'm not sure how we'd get past the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Also,
is Perry
Clue has noodle
relaying his
arms.
back to Clue, or is Clue just blissfully unaware at this point?
Oh yeah, Perry's making sure this gets transmitted so he hears every time Perry says noodle arms.
Just none of the rest of the sentence, just noodle arms over and over again.
Mara's sitting there like tapping her nose and going, there are hiding spots. We could guerrilla warfare this bitch.
Yeah, we've got basically the stairs and then that corridor. So
FYI, I'm just basically going to mute myself at this point and let y'all work it out. But if you have questions for Joe Laxell on like any details or anything like that, just he will answer questions you have, or Renier or anyone. So, but yeah.
I mean, we could ask Clue to leave the trapdoor open a little so that some of them do see it start. I was going to say split them up.
Well,
let some get in the room and the door closes. We can open the door from the inside anyway, I think.
I mean, the problem with that is Clue can't close the door while there's people in that room. That's just a great way for Clue to get stabbed.
Yeah, that's a risk I'm willing to take.
Or blasted.
That's not the risk Clue is willing to take, and he's the one up here.
Yeah, well, that sounds like a him problem.
That sounds like a you problem as he teleports away and you're stuck in the fucking room.
Way to be a team player.
You're the one who's telling Clue to get fucking stabbed.
Communicate this argument.
I will say that at this point, because you had experience with 3 doors, like the mechanics is you need to roll a 17 athletics to push a door open or shut.
Yeah.
Those were heavy doors, so you know that. Yeah, you would know that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were talking about the trapdoor specifically, which isn't as heavy.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, just basically let some of them get through and then cut off them from the help so they come down, get ambushed, defeated. And
I mean, I could see if I can get a couple of them up here and then maybe fuck over the rope so they can't get up as easily. But even then, just running around isn't that many rounds.
Jarlaxo's going to pipe up at this point and say, my understanding of how the Zenithar group works is that they have ranged and melee units. So I would very much expect that the humans not only have the ability to use swords, they probably have crossbows as well. So you'll have the ranged weapons of the gazers as well as the ranged weapons of the fighters, who will be able to shoot at you from across the alley, hallway, as well as the gazers who can move in and out.
Motherfucker, son of a bitch.
Yep. I told you it was a kill squad.
Does Clue have any oil on him?
Nope. The only thing I have is ball bearings, which worked for this bit of bridge, but is not going to help with the rope. I mean, do I not have? I might have oil. I think sealing wax, but that's not helpful here.
I mean, you have a lantern.
Yeah, but doesn't necessarily mean I have the oil. I do have a flask of oil, 2 even.
Because what I'm thinking is just like pour the lantern oil all over this end of the bridge, because that'll make it all slippy.
Yeah, but for that, Clue already put down some ball bearings.
Yeah, that'll just make it extra slippy. More chance for them to slip and fall off.
That's definitely gonna mean having to get rid of this rope at the very least, because as long as that rope's there, they're not gonna try and jump over.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. I wanna go boom, boom.
Well, it's a way to whittle some down before we have to face them.
I mean, it's definitely a smart plan, but while they're still exploring the room, I'm gonna have to pick a good time to fuck up this rope, hopefully get some damage on them with that. Then, and the next, if they try and cross, they're likely to fall again, at which point, I mean, some of them might have fly, but then we only have to deal with people who can, fucking fly.
Because, oil spread around this end of the bridge. If they're jumping, they're going to hit that, which, uncontrolled momentum straight off the bridge. If they manage to get past that, you've got the ball bearings at this end. If they try and come up the rope, as they're coming up the rope, you can...
untie the rope?
Yeah.
As long as they don't see you.
I am invisible. So, until I have to attack something or cast a spell, I am good.
That's why I thought about the oil, because it's just another trap.
Well, let me ask you, if you were Narrow and you had all of your enemies pinned in one room, how would you react to that? I think it's always good to plan out a counter strategy so that we have some options.
I mean, the obvious one is, sit outside the room and wait until they have to come out or starve. Basic,
Yes. You do remember, have you encountered gazers before?
Yes.
Yes, what do you remember about them?
They have a big eye and they die fairly easily. Also, they float.
Yes, do you remember their weapon?
Weird eye things.
Yes, they shoot rays. 2 per gazer. There are 10 gazers out there. Something is going to hit somebody.
Yeah,
they all have a very small area of space to concentrate on aiming their rays.
Yep.
Aren't they also paranoid?
That's the beholders.
No, that's the beholders. The gazers are too dumb to really be paranoid. But that is true. If push comes to shove and they just wait for us to come out of the tiny hole and just bombard us, we're pretty fucking dead.
Do we have any way to produce smoke?
Fire is the general way people produce smoke, but...
Felric pipes up. He says, well, we do have smoke powder, but that's for our guns. It can produce smoke, but then we can't use it for bullets.
How much? So you only have enough smoke powder, and like you could tell that Mara hates saying that word. It just like, because she's just like, I want to say fucking gunpowder, and she's just like, how much do you have?
Not that much. Basically, each of us brought 20 bullets, so we have enough powder for 20 bullets. But of course, some of us missed at the mosaic. So Felric, I and Kribbig, we're down to 15 bullets.
All right. And is the gunpowder inside the bullets, or is it like in
little pouches? But it's really not enough to make enough smoke to, let's say, compete with an oil fire.
I mean, we have oil. We can't start. But also, I'm thinking because technically, I mean, if your guy is in there, you're probably not gonna be dumb. Because I could always, try and be a distraction, but I'd still realize, there's supposed to be an entire party here. Probably not all gonna chase me.
Jarlaxle pops up. If we kill the Grell, Gnarl will know that he's free to turn coat and show his true colors. But until the bodyguards are taken out, he will basically be forced to fight us to the death.
Mm-hmm. And how many
Can you describe the Grell?
Mm-hmm.
There's two, I think he said he was assigned 2 Grell bodyguard at all times now. Let me see if there's a player handout for Grells, because they are terrifying. Creatures and monsters. Yeah. So those of you who you could kind of describe, come on, in all players, woohoo. Okay, so I'm gonna
like a War of the Worlds alien, but
yes,
without eyes and whole brain.
So they describe this creature that has a sort of like a beak for a nose, and it looks like its brain is outside, but actually that's just like a shell in the shape of a brain. And then it has these long tentacles that have a 10-foot reach on their attacks, plus their beaks.
Yeah, I don't think I can just like stealthily kill 2 of those without, being stabbed beforehand. So this is not gonna be a one-man job. I mean, we're lucky these guys are slow at exploring, because having a whole conversation just fucking weirdly milling about, looking at doors.
Yes, well, Saloon did send via the sending spell that slow down and drag it out as much as you can.
Yeah. Really, like some of these guys really just seem confused by the fake doors. Like, just honestly confused.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're going
Senator,
around. Yeah.
Senator is not just. It's not recruiting the best people now, is it?
If we recruited the best people, it wouldn't last very long anyway.
I mean, one guy's literally just headbanging the door now. It's kind of sad, really. Wow.
Wait, do they all have noodle lamps as well?
No, it's one of the fake doors. It goes nowhere. He's just essentially banging his head against the door that's just facing a wall.
Wow.
Well, continue with your plan.
Do you see both Grell?
Do I see both Grell?
I have to unmute myself. So from where you are, I'll actually okay. Now these people are in motion, so where they are now is kind of like where you see them now. I will just bring them up to the token layer so you can get a sense of who is where. And basically based on your line of sight, you might have a couple people who are blocked from your view because of the stonework and stuff, but most of the people you can see.
So I see the 2 Grell next to
Drow Mage
doing the leading.
Yeah.
So I know where they are. They're right in front of the door. So, can't run through that thing either. Just FYI.
Yeah, he's basically like he said, look at the road. His idea is basically like they're going to stand there and stop anyone from moving, and just order people until this area is clear. They're not going anywhere.
Too bad we don't have those.
They're upstairs now, so maybe speed up the planning a bit before shit starts going down here.
Hey, can we are the displacer beasts still hanging around? This is Mara looks at Renier.
Well, they're probably still upstairs, but we have no way of contacting them.
No, I was thinking that Clue
has no way of getting to them because
there's people in front of the door.
Oh, well, shit.
Also, didn't that old lady leave?
Yeah, yes. She did. But I was thinking that we could use the displacer's beast as attack.
Yeah,
or more like
the displacer beasts to attack them from behind.
Yeah,
Kristi also said last session that she probably dismissed them.
Yes, but Renier says, although I did talk to Colleen and she was willing to, I asked as a favor if I could get one of her paintings for some friends of mine who would very much treasure them. So you will have a magical painting if we survive this to hang in Yield Hunt.
Too bad we don't have that right now.
As long as the paintings stay in the paintings.
Well, it would be security issue, it would be like a one-time per month or something if you needed a bouncer displace a beast. You could activate it.
Face hugger. I want a face hugger.
You want them dark mantles? Whatever you want, babe.
Oh, no dark mantles. Those are okay.
Yeah, Mara doesn't care. Mara saw Warsaw face hugger and went, yes. You have to understand. You can't.
You just enjoy things that scare the shit out of Chloe.
I think we all do.
Yes, that does help.
I really feel loved.
You
Welcome
should.
back.
Yeah, Mara's like, the only thing I could think of is using some of the gunpowder, sacrificing a bullet, because gunpowder can go a very long way, and she's given up.
Guys, I do need to remind you, these guys are up here, so if you open up the trapdoor now, there's a very solid chance they just fucking see you.
Yes, but my idea was to set a fire, like open the door, drop down, set a fire at the bottom of the stairs, and bolt.
How is that going to help us?
Well, who wants to jump into a fire? No one.
I mean,
So
you're
we're
also
over here.
slowly
By the way,
sucking
there's also a
oxygen
fire.
out of the room.
But then we'll be stuck up here with them.
Well, why are we up
Down here
there?
with them.
I mean,
You
you'd
said
be
come up, set the
downstairs,
fire down
stuck
the
in a
hole.
room
The
with
hole
a
is
fire
where
in
we
it
were.
and no
Yeah, but we
ventilation.
have Hibara.
Hibara doesn't make oxygen.
She also can't put out fire, so I don't.
Because we're still
Understand.
inside the city. So
Yeah.
She hasn't got us fire spells.
Well, Mara just deflates.
Plus, if you're wanting us to be down here with the fire down here, that's not a smart move.
Well, I mean, heat rises, so the smoke wouldn't necessarily be in the same room.
No, but what would happen is that all of the oxygen would get sucked out of the room into the fucking fire.
Not necessarily. The trap door is open.
Yeah.
I have
So
a
daylight
silly
appearance.
question.
Yeah, and
comes down
fires
here,
have a
so-
tendency to take oxygen from the bottom and make it go up top. There's no ventilation in the room you're in.
Yeah, there is. Because there's sunlight down here somehow. Remember?
Oh,
I have a question.
There's glass, but there's no exit out of here. There's no way out. They're just like mirrors up way above you with no access
there's a
point.
way out. It's called teleportation, and Clue's the only one that can use it.
Who's going to
That
get his
would work.
ass beat in a hot second?
Didn't
Oh,
Chris
maybe
say this
teleport.
dwarf friend we have can sort of kill all of us?
I mean, we don't know that. Because to be honest, the easiest solution to all of this problem would just be,
Hey, Mr.
Aranax, but
Mr.
none of us
Dwarf,
actually know who the fuck he is.
Can you go murderize some people for us?
Right?
I was
We
more
think he's just
thinking.
an old dwarf. We just got charm resistance, apparently.
He's like listening to all of us argue and is doing nothing about it.
Yep. It's not his job anymore. He passed over his It's your responsibility to protect the gold now. So, by the way, does anyone want to say out loud what Barrock really is?
Aranax, ancient gold
Aranax.
dragon.
Yeah, I was right. He is a gold dragon.
He is a
Yeah,
gold dragon.
And technically, all of the treasure should be part of his hoard. So why is he not like totally down to protect it?
He was
because
babysitting
it's
somebody
not his
else's
hoard.
hoard.
Any of us
Oh.
asked him if he wants to defend it?
I mean, it's not currently, it wasn't his hoard. He was asked to protect it. He probably has a separate hoard somewhere.
Or
Well, probably
should we
why he
ask
wants
him
the
if he
gems.
would like to protect Renier?
I mean, the problem with that is, because we all know he's an ancient dragon, but our characters don't. We know there's something fucky with him, but we don't necessarily know he can take all of these people.
Very true.
And Hibara just thinks he's a dwarf. A weird old dwarf.
Yeah, but Hibara needs help.
So, I mean, if one of you guys genuinely think your character would ask the fucking old dwarf to help, that's fine. But, don't do it with the assumption that, we know he's a fucking gold dragon.
I mean, I was thinking of earlier on, I'd get this to roll to say, is there something I'm missing here? Something like, this isn't actually a dwarf, but...
I mean, Blue has been quoting dwarf a lot, so... But he doesn't think it's a gold dragon. He just thinks he's weird and not a dwarf.
But Les would ask, why don't we just lure them down here, kill them all, maybe with the powerful dwarf that Clue was scared of?
I mean, the thing about that is if they have a bunch of gazers come down here, just know where we are, they can literally just starve you out. Like, they don't need to go down there. Eventually, you need to eat. And they can get food. They have the door. You can't get out.
Technically not, because Habara can just goodberry every morning.
That is true.
That still takes berries. Eventually, you do run out of berries. You might be able to stay here a while, or very long times, but eventually you run out of resources.
Yeah, I think it fills you up, but I don't know if it takes care of your hydration needs. I mean, I'd have to look that up.
I think it technically, but the thing is, it still takes a berry to do. So
Okay.
Technically, it doesn't, but I have been rolling it that way.
I'm pretty sure technically it does, according to Raw. Pretty sure.
You just need... No, it summons berries, but you do need a sprig of mistletoe berries?
Unless you use it.
Yeah, it's your component. It's a component that you need to cast
it. It's not... Oh, yeah, because actually you're technically correct, because if it's a cost of material component, you can use your focus instead.
Yeah, and it doesn't say it consumes the item.
Exactly.
Because it's just a little first level spell. It's just a basic component.
But I've been running it as needing berries to actually like transmogrify them, because just being able to ship berries is fucking OP as fuck.
Yeah, to be honest, it's one of the main reasons good berries is fucking broken, because it's like, oh, literally, food can never be an issue now. Huh.
Yes.
It's like a fucking first level spell, so any survival campaign is just instantly broken.
All the way from level 1 up.
Yep.
Yeah, goodberry and create and destroy water, and you never have to worry about survival again.
Mm-hmm.
Unless your DM nerfs it like Kristi did in our game.
Yeah. Most, if you actually want to do any kind of survival thing, you need to nerf them, because it's literally just the entire type of campaign you can't do because of those two fucking spells. But that's not relevant right now.
Main attack, you would be trapped for as long as they wanted to trap you, until they got enough people to rush the place.
I mean, they could literally just start a fire or do anything to just smoke you out. Possibly literally.
Oh, that's the thing.
That does assume that they know there's only one room down here.
It just means they know there's no way out of there, which they guess don't necessarily know. Which we could use, because Cloak can't teleport. Well,
that's the thing. I still say arrange some accidents of them trying to get to the trapdoor, and then when they come down, they're bottlenecked.
Yeah. The thing is, you're assuming they would come down and not I guess they don't. I guess the gazers would come down and instantly, because, the scouting, they would instantly see that there's no way out of there. Then they could just hold up.
But if we stop them going around the corners.
Yeah, if we engage the gazers here, if they come down, because only so many can come down at a time.
I mean, if you assume you can burst them before they can get over, like, here or here, I mean, to be honest, they need to be, like, over here before they can see every nook and cranny, so there might still be exit here or here.
Gazers aren't that strong, they've just got fucking annoying attacks. But
I'm just trying to think
of ourselves up here hiding, and when they come down, we just pop out AoEs down here.
I'm just trying to think,
don't even really need AoEs, just a lot of damage.
I mean, yeah, we have 2 rogues. Literally just hide behind these 2 corners, and me and Perry can probably one-shot these things half the time.
Like I said, guerrilla warfare this bitch.
Yeah. And that's
yeah.
what I was planning with the oil and the ball bearings and cutting the rope.
That's a thought.
At the very least, it will soften some of the
Top some of them up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
but the thing is, if we are actively fighting them here in the hallways, they would instantly know we don't have a way out, because otherwise we would have just used it.
Or
not
they could just think
necessarily
we're using it because it's a convenient choke point.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, yeah, to be honest, we couldn't move the dragons. So even if you had an exit, we'd still be stuck here because we can't move the fucking dragons. So actually, that's all correct. So it is probably best to set up some stuff. Nobody appears to be trying to use the rope, right? Kristi?
Yep, just sorry, I mute myself in 2 places, so it takes me a little delay to get on there. You saw that one of them had come over and pulled on it, saw that it was pretty stable, and yelled back to Narelle, oh, looks like they went up the rope, this bridge over here, but they're still scouting. They're not starting to move in yet.
Because ideally Clue would make that thing drop while there were people on it, but that's also risky.
Just loosen it so that when they start climbing, it falls down.
I mean, I don't know what kind of knot you bar use for this one, so because there's a lot of knots you can't just
just a basic one.
Well, that's the thing. You don't have to tackle the knot; just fray the rope a little, because they've tested it and think it's safe.
Yeah, the problem with that is that technically counts as an attack, because if it technically counts as an attack, I'm visible.
I wouldn't think so, because you're not attacking anything. You're just taking your rope, taking a knife and just slicing part the way through a rope. It's not exactly an attack.
That would be DM call. So,
DM?
Yeah. Unmuting. Also looking up things in the monster manual. So if you were to just slide over and sort of put your knife out and start to fray the rope, I would say that that's not an attack.
Okay. Then Chloe is definitely going to go and do that.
Okay.
After which, if we're choking them out, Chloe is gonna need to go back down again. So enters the room.
He's got the ball bearings in place, ropes ready to snap.
And Perry has some ball bearings he could throw down here for any little foot.
Perry, before you do that, wait until I am downstairs. And then Chloe is gonna need to tell this room a secret. He doesn't need to say that psychically, fortunately enough. He can just say that thing out loud. Let's see if this works. Chloe is not my real name.
Well, you didn't have to tell us what the secret is, because we wouldn't be able to hear it anyway.
Very true.
I trust you not to metagame that.
Yeah. There's a pause, kind of like the same with Mara, and then there's the mechanical chunk chunk. And I'm going to need to make some rolls now. And the trapdoor pops open.
And downstairs. Well, he's actually going to hide behind... Actually, he's going to hide right there. Because he's still invisible.
Are you closing the door behind you? So you're closing the trapdoor behind you?
If we're choking them in, best to just invite them.
Okay. Hold on a second. Oh, yeah. One, you hear as you're sort of climbing down through the trapdoor. Hey, I think I heard something up there. And then you disappear. So, let me think. All right.
Yeah, secret rolls coming up.
Yeah. I want to go back quickly and just read the physical description of the area that you are trying to draw them into. So, too far back. Too far back. Oh, come on. There we go. Let's see. The trapdoor is false. It can't be. Oh, the wrong one. Okay. Right, so the staircase that you go down descends 120 feet. So there's 120 feet between people at the bottom and the door at the top. All right. Basically, why don't you all figure out where you're going to be, and I'm going to figure out what they do, because you wouldn't know. So, you've got 2 hallways here. Do I have any NPCs there stood in the middle? Or is that all player characters? Okay, that's all y'all. All right. And you have the drow too, so you can think about that. Okay. So, Hee. Boop. I think.
Yes, once Clue communicates that he's down, Perry is dropping the ball bearings.
I mean, you see him come down. He's down.
He's still visible.
And where are you dropping the ball bearings?
You wouldn't see him come down, very specifically not see him.
I mean, it'd be sort of all over this area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's just
you can just mark
load
it,
of ball bearings. And...
I mean, yeah, you
Sorry?
can make a square or something like this.
Yeah, like that.
And also at the very bottom of the stairs as well.
Also on the stairs? Okay. Can I... I'm trying to remember. Can you actually... Nope, we can't resize this once you've had them. Ugh. Roll 20, man. Like, can I... Like this something here? No, it's the clue with it. Okay.
So that sort of area.
And now it's just it's clue. That was not my
Wait,
intention.
Clue's gone.
Yeah, I'll bring him back. Why the fuck had I selected? Did somebody else make the better? It's not allowing me to select. I assume somebody else made the slightly better rectangle. Clue's
Yeah,
back.
I did.
That was Sid.
Okay. Also, hey, I just noticed Clue doesn't have a purple dot anymore. Huh.
Well, you just deleted the Clue with the purple dot.
Yeah, this is a new
I
clue.
will listen.
Pour one out for that clue.
So yeah.
All
Liz
right.
is going to be sat there ready with the crossbow. Perry's there ready to just with his psychic blades.
Okay. Right, so you wait for a while. And you wait for a while. And you wait for another while, because you don't know what they're doing up there. But who is... okay, I see. So people are where they want to be, correct?
Mm-hmm. If it takes longer than an hour, you do need to mention it, because then Clue would be visible.
Most of us are. Habara and Mara still seem to be in the central room, as do all the drow.
Yeah, so what about the rest of the people? Before we start, do you want to... Because you would have the time to organize this before anything happens, so I will let you organize it as you will.
Is it longer than an hour?
Let me do a roll and see how well they do getting over the various obstacles. So... Oh no, they suck. They suck hard. Yeah, there's a couple of them who are a little bit more on the graceful side, but it's looking like it's going to be closer to, well, yeah, I would say closer to an hour. By the way, Jarlaxle has noticed what you're doing in this time. Is Hibbard basically going to try to attune to the staff during this time?
Yeah, that's what she's been doing this whole time.
Yeah. Darlaxle's going to come over and say, Hibara, what are you doing?
We know the deal. Remember? I get to use it.
You want to use it on your 2 dragon friends?
Yes. And then I give it to you, and you can do whatever the hell you want.
All right, so you need to keep it very safe then.
Oh, yes.
Defend it with your life.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and while you're here, you want your operative alive and still in the Xanathar, right?
If we can kill his bodyguards, that would free him to basically help us finish off the rest of them.
Because, if you let him die, I can bring him back.
Oh, that's very kind of you. If possible, that's very kind. I would appreciate that very much. I mean, hopefully it won't come to that. Well,
I'm just wondering, because if you want him alive and in Xanathar, then we wouldn't want him to die, because we just want to kill the bodyguard, so then he could still be in the stuff, right?
Well, I think if Narl goes back without the dragons, he is going to be killed by the Xanathar. So I think it's probably best at this point. I can't keep him undercover anymore. I think it's best that we get him out.
All right, then yeah.
If you're willing to go and finish off his mission, then yes, let's pull him out. And he can give you all the information he knows.
All right, yeah, that's good.
All right, well, enjoy finishing the attunement. Don't get killed while you're tuning. If the battle starts in the next 2 minutes. He walks kind of like his good luck, Hibara. As he walks past you, Mara, he says, we should perhaps talk after this if we live. I could perhaps use some of your advice.
Oh. Okay. I'm down.
You notice that his attitude toward you has sort of shifted after he heard your secret. Before he was always playful with you, and kind of casual. I don't want to say this. He didn't necessarily see you as like a massive threat. And so he was able to be a little more like let his guard down or not regard you with quite so much suspicion. You notice that he's kind of treating you with a bit more, I don't know how to say, aristocracy now. Just kind of a small vibe you get. Like your aristocracy. It's kind of like he's treating you a bit more like a noble than someone he can just joke around with. Yeah, and he then says to the rest of the party, where do you want us?
In front, take all the hits.
Well, you're at least one near me, and probably some behind Clue. He's on the other side of the ball bearings.
I don't even know where I'm supposed to be.
Good question.
Well, they'll be coming down the stairs, so that's our choke point. So you will want to be somewhere around here where everyone else is gathering.
Well, maybe on the other side, like over here.
Yeah.
Because that way they don't get behind us.
I mean, how would they get behind us? We have the 2 entrances entirely blocked off.
Well, no. What I'm saying is you can't put all your eggs, i.e. over here, in one basket. If you don't guard this side, your blind side.
Yeah, we guarded both sides. That's the point.
Right, but there's nobody over there.
There is. I was there for a start.
Chloe is also on that end. I mean, he's closer to the actual
Well, now
stairs,
I see that. My screen was not in the perfect position. I'm moving behind Thelfar because he has more HP.
You're a fucking barbarian. What the fuck are you doing?
I'm not a tank. Freaking Thelfar's a tank compared to me.
When Amara gets up there, she'll pass without a trace. So
you can half most damage and also just have big hit die, and you can heal yourself.
This is. I only have 2 big hit die. I only have 2.
I mean, even then, like I think it also only has the 8s normally, and Clue only has the 8s. I mean, Clue has a lot less health, but technically, Clue, depending on the type of hit coming, Clue is actually more tanky than Telvar. Because, he can half damage.
Yeah, my AC
he just has the OP cook.
I mean, Telvar's AC is technically like 1 better than Clue, I think.
Yeah, my AC is shit.
Which is weird, considering I'm pretty sure he has... Oh, no, he has a 5 intelligence index. So it's just a ring.
AC 17.
Yeah,
yep.
We're not talking about it. I'm going to just sit over here in a corner and cry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so is everyone where they want to be?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think...
should I roll?
Before Mara had moved into position, she had signed a friend to protect the dwarf.
Okay, so he'll stay by the dwarf. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Should roll for hiding on the corner-ish, crouching down and stuff.
Are you around the corner, or you seem to be more
I'm
in the hallway?
the corner, in the hallway. I'm at the corner.
Okay. There?
That area. Yeah, I can be right there behind the corner. Here and around.
Yep, that looks good. Okay. Got it. You've got pass without a trace on?
Yes.
Okay. Yep, so you are...
That's what the circle is.
Yes.
I hope everyone can see that. Because if you're in there, you get plus 10 to your stealth.
Nope.
I don't see
Nope,
it.
I do not see a circle.
I do see it, but I am...
Does it
encompass everyone in the
Perry and Nez?
Yes. Yes,
I mean, I guess 2 of the drow are down there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jarlaxle.
2 drow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ooh, they're also very stealthy, so... right, so after a little bit, you wait, and then you start to hear a clue, because you've got a really good passive perception, and you see 2 gazers. You can also hear some voices of before and there seem to be voices now coming from the trap door. They seem to have moved over there. So I guess at this point, because they are... everybody roll initiative. Nobody gets a surprise round really here.
The whole time I rolled good.
Wrong.
Come on, Perry, roll good.
My token isn't correctly selected. I rolled a 20. No, didn't roll a 20, but I got a 20.
I rolled like shit.
Oh, I got a 19.
Let me just...
Okay.
And now for Nez.
Settings are actually in the... Actually, so I rolled better than the original thing. Fuck.
You got you got a 20?
I'll play fair and turn it back into a 20, but...
Yeah. Oh, not 2, 20. Sorry, yeah, I got it. All right.
Yeah, 20.18 technically, but...
Yes, and so you see 2 gazers floating down toward you.
I mean, Chloe is invisible, so I assume he has advantage.
Yep.
And then he's just going to flame stab them, as he does.
I thought he wasn't invisible. Did
this take longer than an hour?
It's basically been more. It's because she's attuned. So
yeah.
Well, in that case, I guess I'm using the steady aim bonus action.
Okay.
25.
Okay. Yep, you hit.
I do 20 damage against this one and 10 damage against that one.
All right, that one goes. Oh. The other one just disintegrates. Poof.
Power of rogues.
All right, next up is Perry.
Oh dear. Well, Perry would have to move up. I assume I'm not muted. Good. Where was it? And then first blade.
Okay, he is behind a corner, so I think that's like, I'm gonna call that like half cover, so it's a +2 to their AC, right? Sorry, it still
half
hits.
cover is +2, I think. Plus 3/4 is +5.
Yeah. So, but that's okay. It doesn't help. You still hit it, and you, you finish it off. Just disintegrate it.
Oh, these things are absolutely fucking bitch made. Jesus.
That's what I was saying. Gazers, they're weak as fuck. They just got annoying attacks.
We were level 2 when we fought
That's
them.
2 down.
Mm-hmm.
And then Perry's going to move backwards since that's dead.
All right. So, the noise of the exploding gazers travels up, and you hear some discussion happening above, and then it fades. Like either they started whispering, or they've moved away from the trapdoor.
Guys, it's starting to sound like they have a plan. Maybe just while we have some time, let's all hide behind cover.
Sorry, I'm going to need to grab a book, so talk amongst yourselves for a quick second.
Yeah, because Clue is basically going to need to dead aim shoot things like the entire time here, because he has no other way of getting sneak attack. And he's not risking just standing next to the door as potentially stronger and stronger enemies just pour in. That's not going to be a good time.
I'll still use the knives from back here. So that's still 2 attacks.
That's the thing. Presumably, all they know is the gazers came down and died. They don't know what killed them down here.
Exactly.
I'm trying to think. Do gazers have a level of telekinesis? I don't think so.
I think would that be telepathy, not telekinesis?
Yeah, correct. Getting my teles confused.
All right. And so you hear it's quiet.
Of course, with psychic blades, there's no trace of what killed him anyway.
Oh. Okay, I am back. Sorry, I muted only in one spot.
The one that was exploded was, exploded on Clue's sword, so...
That's a good problem.
All right, Clue, your perception... Your perception is good enough that you can now hear somebody. You can hear footsteps. They seem like they are stepping into the trapdoor, and they come down. They hear the steps, thunk, thunk, hand over hand, foot on foot, step on step. I'm sorry, that's just regular steps as they walk down, and then you start to hear magic being. Oops, I got rid of the gazer I wasn't supposed to get rid of. You start to hear a magic incantation. And...
Guys, there's magic happening. Be aware.
Yeah, good to communicate. And now I need to get something up. You start to see a form at the bottom of the stairs. You start to see gas form in this area. Yep. And it's none of you are there, but it smells absolutely terrible.
Hey, poison gas. Trying to smoke us out.
And yep, it sort of sits for a while. And then it, oh, wow, that's interesting. I didn't mean to actually grab a word. I grabbed something I didn't mean to grab. Sorry, to ungroup this group. Didn't roll 20, just it threw me for a loop for a second there. And after a minute, the cloud starts to disperse. And as it disperses, now I had to do this because of the way that I move them, so don't freak out for just yet. But you basically, as soon as the cloud starts to disperse, a whole group of gazers basically have been sitting at the top of the cloud waiting. And then on their movement, which you couldn't see, they all are going to take their full movement and basically like come rushing down and into the hallways at you. I guess that's actually probably, except for this one over here, pretty realistic.
As their movement comes after Thelvas, could Thelvas...
well, we're not really in turn order anymore because...
also, the guy that's currently outside of bounds is probably also somewhere else. Yeah,
they basically, I'm actually going to have roll initiative again because there was so much time. Basically, you guys went out of combat waiting because they were sort of setting up. And you have another sort of like reaction again as they come rolling in.
Token deselected again, Jesus.
So,
don't like this new token. It doesn't want to work.
Yeah, they all come flooding down the stairs, and I'll move the gas now. Oh, did I not put it? Oh, did I only put it on the GM layer? Oh, sorry, I meant to put it on.
You never put the gas.
There you go. There was the gas. Sorry, it was on my screen. So. But I can move it off now because it's dispersed. They just wanted to make sure that they cleared away the area before y'all came on. And now they need to do their initiative roll.
I'm disappointed in my rolls.
I mean, why did it roll twice? Because I see you have a 10 and then also have a 1 for some other, 4. Some reason.
Because I've got Perry and Nez.
Ah, okay.
All right. So, we are in a new battle with new enemies, and Hibara, you are up first.
So yeah, she's peering around the corner, looking at all these stupid little gazers.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just double check the range. Real quick. If it will, there it is. Yeah. 10 feet. Yep. Okay, perfect. Yep. She'll sneakily creep slightly around the corner and then plop Grizzle right there, which I believe hits all these little gazers right here, these bottom 4 gazers.
Let me find Grizzle.
Oh, I've already put him in.
Oh, excellent. Cool. Good. All right. And it's a saving throw?
Yes.
Okay. And a DC 15. And it's the 3 that are around Grizzle?
4. 10 feet within Grizzle.
Okay, so the one that I just pinged here to that one, right? And then everyone in between. Okay.
Yes, the bottom 4.
Okay, I think it's just gonna, rather than rolling 4 different times, I'll just roll with my dice. All right, DC 15. What kind of plus do they get on Dex? I need to check that first. Oh, they're not too bad. Okay, DC 15. 2 make it, 2 fail. So I'll say the ones like farthest from Grizzle fail, and the ones closest to Grizzle, save.
Reverse it.
Yes, exactly. So
the ones closest to him take the 11 damage,
correct.
And the ones furthest away down.
Correct. In my head, I had it right, but it came out of my mouth wrong.
Yeah, I understood what you were going for.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my
That's
God.
all that really matters.
I just trapped my headphone lead under 3 different open D&D books. This is ridiculous. Okay, sorry. Right, so they are the ones closest. Each take 11. All right, they're looking pretty crispy. Where the fuck is my keyboard? I lost an entire fucking keyboard. Where did my keyboard go? This is stupid. Hold on. I actually lost like an entire... Where did I put it? Where did it go? Oh, it just fell behind me. All right. 11 and 11. Do the others take any at all?
No, they do not take any damage.
Okay. All right.
But
2 are looking well crispy.
Those 2 are going to look even more crispy as he blasts back.
Okay, so a further 6.
Yep.
All right, so these 2 are gone. Boop, boop.
Oh, well, they need to make a DC 15 save.
Oh, okay, they need just to make another save. Okay,
Yep.
my bad. All right, 2 more saves coming up. See if they do any better this time. 15 plus 3. Yeah, they both saved that one this time.
Okay, then they don't take any damage.
Okay. All right. Sucked on the first one, learned their lesson, got out of the way for the second. I don't know how much good it'll do them. All right, is that everything for your turn?
That is everything.
All right, Mara, there are all these weird eyeball-y things floating, looking around.
Oh, wait. One other thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me?
Just maintain the lovely drow's line of sight.
That too.
I mean, also stand behind the corner in case eyes beams.
Yep.
So, Mara. Why am I echoing? There. Nope. Okay. No more echo. All right. Mara pops out, sees this guy.
Yep.
Come on. Why are we having issues? And then goes into a rage as my bonus action. And we're gonna try let's fucking just try a dart, see what happens.
Okay, so I was on the wrong screen. Oh yeah, that's a hit. 24 is definitely a hit.
All right. And then just in time, she pops right back behind the corner.
Okay. All right. I'm like, as your dart goes in. Clue.
Well, considering nobody's standing behind anything, he is just gonna use steady aim and shoot that guy. So with his short bow, shoot this guy. Assume it's 23 hits.
Yes, it does.
And 10, I do 18 damage against this guy.
That one. All right, he is gone. Poof. Taken out.
Yeah, that's all Clue can do.
Right. Felvar.
Felvar.
Steps up to this one. And in a 30-foot line that's basically gonna go this guy to here. So it's gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these top 5. With a line spell. It's the right page. 9 freaking damage. DC 15 dex save.
Okay.
16.
16. Yeah, and it's just the one, right? It's not an area of effect, it's against 1?
It's
line
top 5.
against 5.
Oh, okay, against 1, 2.
It's
Okay.
the line, it's coming down slightly diagonally to catch
Okay.
these 5.
Okay, then I do need to roll those by hand. It's just faster than roll 20, I think. Except when I don't have my dice to hand. What do I have? Why am I missing one? Anyway. Oh, there, I see one. Okay. So 5 and then you go, so plus 3. Pass. 2 fails and 3 of them make it.
Well, 2 take 9 and the remaining take 4.
Okay.
On 3d8, I got 2 bloody ones.
Oh, well, the one in front of you explodes. if that makes you feel better, because you went 1 over its HP. So that one's gone. I also say this is another one here. Here that you were aiming at, right to the south of it, correct?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so that one takes 9, and then the others take 4.
Yep.
Can you ping again the ones you were aiming at, just so I make sure I get the damage correct?
Everything down to this one.
Okay, those 3. Got it. Got it. Yep. All right.
4.
So 4 and 4 and 4. Oh, you also managed to take out the one in the at the end, the entrance that somebody else had damaged earlier. So you took out 2 of them from that. All right. Is that everything for your turn?
Well, as I cast a spell, I can use a bonus action for an attack. So I'll move up to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And cheat. Rapier attack.
Okay, 18 will hit. Yep.
11 damage.
That'll be enough to send it to the afterworld. Okay. Barry.
My Carrie's going to go for the first one here with blades. And since Grizzle's there, that's sneak attack, isn't it?
Yeah, you got an ally within 5 feet.
Make sure I get the right one. 17 for 18 damage.
Yep, it's gone. Say bye-bye. He's bye-bye. All right, it was this one right here next to... Yes.
The bottom one.
That was the one next to Grizzle.
Yep.
And then, since that's definitely within 60 feet, the next one is just going to get a straight offhand. Which
that
misses.
will not... Yes, that will miss. Okay. Right. So let's see. What are they going to do? I think that one is going to shoot at you, Perry. So, because you basically just threw something at it. So it is going to get a D4. So I need to roll 2 D4. See what's going to happen here. All right, you get a 3 and a 4. So you can I get a dexterity saving throw from you as a frost ray comes charging down the hallway toward your head?
I didn't roll lucky on that. Oh well.
Oh yeah, really nice. Okay, and then give me a strength saving throw as its second ray comes shooting at you. Oof. Yeah.
Wait.
Well, happily for you.
Let me just double check lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'm on that one again.
Okay.
Lucky is like everyone, right?
Yeah, 13.
All right.
Better.
That's this time you make it. You made it.
Yes. Attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. So yeah, I should have re-rolled that attack. Silly me.
Yeah, but is it 3 times a day or once a day? And how does that work with lucky?
It doesn't say lucky.
It's literally infinitely.
Oh, it's a feat. It's the feat, isn't it? Okay.
No, it's not a feat. It's visiting halfling zoo.
Okay.
The feat has limited uses. Halflings can just roll once forever.
Yes, true. Right. So the other ones are coming at you, Thelvar. Oops. Let me do that again. I'll do 2 and 2. Okay. Well, I'll do one more. All right. Well, how exciting. All right. So I need from you first a wisdom saving throw, Thelvar. Oof. Okay. You are basically charmed until the start of the Gazer's next turn. While you're charmed, your speed is halved and you have disadvantage on your attack rolls. So then next up, because I think, 1, 2, and 3 and 2. Can I get a...
Doesn't that also mean he can't attack the gazer that charmed him?
It doesn't say that. It says the target is...
So that's the charmed effect.
Yeah.
Isn't that what that is?
Yeah. So it says that charmed until the start of the gazer's next turn. While it's charmed in this way, its speed is halved, and it has disadvantage on attack rolls, and that's how it's described in the text.
Oh, no, I mean just the charmed status effect.
The charmed state. I can actually look that up because I have my cards with me. If I can... It's amazing how massive... Oh, here, it's right behind me. Okay. I can tell you. Charmed means a charmed creature can attack the charmer or target the charmer with harmful abilities or magical effects, and the charmer has advantages on any social checks. I think
so you should
definitely is going to try to
probably mark which gazer.
I've been really trying, baby.
Just for better purposes, which one is?
Yeah, which one? I'll
suddenly feeling somewhat.
Oh, the red heart of love. On that one. Just, it's you never really notice that there's some kind of like pretty parts of the gazers as they're going on.
You stare into its singular huge eye.
All right, now I need for the second attack another wisdom saving throw.
Doesn't being attacked by the charmed person also break charm?
No, I don't see that.
I mean, the question is whether or not, because for charmed person, so it definitely does what it says that in the spell. Also, I don't know if technically what they mean by
it has to.
If it necessarily means the charmed status, because generally then they say gains the charmed status explicitly, Mom.
Yeah.
Well, it says be charmed. And that usually also is it too. Because that's how.
Well, I'll tell you what. Roll your saving. Roll your wisdom saving throw because it might be academic. So let's see if you make it. No, you don't. Okay, so we're going to have to look up the. It doesn't say on the cards about being someone attacking you, removing the charm.
Yeah.
It just says you can't.
I think that's just for the charmed person spells.
Yeah, that's probably
that,
and this only lasts until their turn again.
I'm looking at charmed person there. Explicitly says the charmed creature regards you as friendly. Acquaintance with the spell ends. The creature knows it was charmed. So I think it needs to explicitly say what it means by charmed.
Yeah, because it doesn't say it's a charmed spell here. And also when you're charmed, your speed isn't halved. So I think it's kind of
I think that's charmed is just a general word, and then it explains what being charmed means in this context.
Yeah, so it might not be the charm condition. It may just be.
I think it's just the condition.
Charmed in this way, it's slowed and have disadvantage on attack rolls, presumably just against the caster.
Yes, just against the caster. Yeah. Just the creature. Okay, well, it's not that big of a deal. You get a little bit of, wait, hold on, I need to get track. Oh, right. Okay, so that was 2. Yes, 1 and 2. So you are now also frightened of the gazer, because you got its dazzling ray and its fear ray for that one. All right, so you both love it and you fear it. So I can, frightened, I can pull that one up. Again,
well, could you put the frightened ray in the chat?
Yeah. Fear ray. There you go.
At least they're not doing damage.
It's really nice. You can't move. It's basically the same thing. You can't have more disadvantage than you already have. This time you just can't move closer to it.
See, this says or be frightened in exactly the same way that Dazzling says be charmed. Mm-hmm. So I think it is via the status effect plus other things that this particular.
Yeah, but then it's weird that charmed person explicitly says what the charmed effect is.
Well, it's also a spell.
This is literally what I have
in the spell.
Right. So this is the description I have. You guys can see exactly what I'm working with. So it says be charmed or be frightened.
I'm reading charmed person for it does. It's actually pretty vague. It just says friendly acquaintance. So yeah, you're probably right. It's both charmed condition and what it says.
I love you. I fear you. All right, the next one is also shooting its 2 rays at you, Thelvar. So can I get this time a dexterity saving throw?
Much better at that.
Okay.
Much.
Oh, sorry, I need to scroll down. Much better. Yes, and then the last one, I need one final wisdom saving throw for the 4th ray that's coming at you. Hey, and you made it. Yeah, so those two, you dodged both of them. There's not many gazers left. So, I think that's...
pretty much talked through them.
That's it. Yeah, you did. All right. Who's this? Who's 4?
That's Nez.
Oh, Nez. Hey, Nez. I didn't recognize.
That's when I gave Nazira the better armor, so it shows up better on the tokens.
Oh, yes. It is so much easier to see.
Her and Scaramid don't look exactly the same from a distance.
Hey, I told you to... Thank you. Just confirm? Yep. Nez is going to throw caution to the wind because Nez is an orc.
Okay.
And go in with the longsword.
All right.
Does
That's
an
a
11
miss.
hit?
No.
Oh.
Just swings by. The little gazer, is like dancing around and it just moved in an awkward way right at the end of her swing. Their swing, sorry.
Yeah, and that basically be it, although Nez can step back and put a little distance between them.
Okay. All right.
I mean, technically attack of opportunity if they have a thing that can go off that.
Nah. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my turn again?
Yeah, we're back to you already.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess it's just time for some bees in the face of this one.
All right. So con save, a DC 15 check, and just on one of them, and play their con. Hold on. So I've got the monster manual open. I've got the the player's handbook open. I've got the dragon heist book open. It is ridiculous where I am right now. What is their con? +2. And you're doing it just one?
Yeah, it's just cantrip. It's only this one.
Okay. He got a 17.
Well, he avoided the bees then.
Oh.
But 11 misses.
Yeah. Whew. Goes flying by his head.
Yep. And then we'll just go back around the corner. And that's it.
Hide by the corner. All right. Kelsey, what's Mara going to do?
Take a nap. So it's that one's still alive and that one's still alive, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
All 3 of them are still alive.
The red dot's just is the one that Belvar's finding attractive right now.
15, 20.
Attractive and scary.
35, 30, 35, 40. So Mara's going to go ahead and with that one, since she's still in rage, so takes out her staff, her quarterstaff, and attempts to hit it like a baseball bat. And that's also a +2. I still can't get the rage thing to work.
That's a hit. Absolutely.
Awesome. And that's a 8 because again I can't get it to work.
Yeah, it's okay. Are you doing it at the one that Belvar loves or the one next to you? I'm sorry, I missed.
The one right in front of me. So this one right here.
Oh yeah,
and then there's this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
That's the one that Belvar's currently in love with.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fuck with the one that Belvar's
all right, so you do 6 damage. All right. Yeah. You. It's still not down, but you have thwacked it for an extra. Oh no, it's +2, isn't it? It's looking really bad. It's actually looking really, really near death now, but still flying.
Well, that's all I could do.
All right, then, Clue, it's your turn.
People are finally starting exiting, so Clue can run in and fire stab. Wait. Assume a 19 hits.
It does.
I do a total of 25 damage against the one Belvar Fear loves, and 6 damage.
Pretty sure that explodes that one.
Yeah, and you basically finish them both off. There's nothing to just his gazer guts.
And because I still have a bonus action left, so whoever hits this guy next has advantage.
All right. Thelvar, you are suddenly not captivated by that gazer anymore. You come to yourself as the effect wears off, and you are no longer
It's a lot
afraid.
less hot when it's stabbed.
And its guts
Don't
are
forget
everywhere.
that's difficult to aim.
Oh, sorry, Alhana, we can't hear
I
you.
didn't have to move very far, so
No.
But yes, Old Faithful, Shocking Grasp.
Don't forget advantage on the actual attack.
Oh yeah, good point. So I'll roll that again.
Good getting
I mean,
crit.
technically, I don't think it matters with the buttons, but technically,
You could
the roll
crit.
would be off your weapon attack, not of the shocking grasp. But I don't think it currently matters. Oh no, you integrated them into themselves.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
rambling.
And there's the damage from that. Bye bye, Gazer.
Yeah, bye-bye, Gazer. Absolutely. All right. Yeah. So at this moment, it goes quiet again. Just
Reset positions.
Nope.
Mara goes, shit! Retreat!
All right. So hold on a second. Now I have to set up a little bit again here. Oh, okay. Interesting.
I mean, I wonder if these guys are gonna realize that this maybe is just like not a good idea.
No, they're
Just like
stupid as
walk
hell.
down here.
I mean, they could just be thinking it's a booby trap. But the gazer just keeps setting off.
Which is hard for a thing that floats.
Yeah.
Ball arrows?
Yeah, but then I guess you could just have strings activate those. Because they do not trigger pressure plates.
Okay,
That's
I've
true.
been
Or just magic.
a bit of a mess here. All right, we're just gonna have to cope. A second. This is a problem when you have waves of baddies. So they get their corpses litter everything. It's
Suppose going to turn to the drow and ask.
Also, I
Just get
think
a
there's
quick
currently a
description.
gazer in the wall over here.
Yeah, I need him for the.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't.
the clone one.
Oh yeah, I don't need him though anymore because he's out of combat, so he doesn't matter anymore. All right. So
Yeah, but Perry's going to turn to the drow and whisper, asking for a quick description of the one they don't want to kill.
Oh,
The drow. The drow is
He's
the one
a
they
drow.
don't want killed.
Don't kill
the one
the
that
drow.
looks like the drow.
See this? Don't kill this one. Or one that looks like this.
What if there's other drow?
So to whom
There's probably not.
did you ask the question? Jarlaxle or
Just generally
Soon?
to the two behind him.
Yeah.
I will say that was 100% canon of what I just said with Hibara responding in place of Jarlaxle.
Yeah. Yeah, he just lets that go. Like he's kind of getting your vibe now. He says, Saloon's actually got another message from his brother. He managed to send one without the Grail noticing. Basically, he asked if he could just keep sending people down and then eventually he'll come down and we can kill his bodyguards.
Oh yeah, I forgot we have a man on the inside.
That
Yeah,
works,
just keep,
but-
Like a
keep
plan.
sliding them in
Yeah,
down.
Perry's going to communicate that to Clute, who they communicate that to the others. But he's not going to say, yeah, but just let Nez know which one. So Nez can use the Thorn Whip to pull them out of the way.
Yes, when Norrell arrives, he won't have a big shapen head like a brain with a beak out of his face and dangly tentacles. He's not that
again,
one.
that's-
He's the drow.
Yeah, but if that's
They
the
look
only
like
thing we
this.
need to know, that's fine.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then Perry's going to turn to Nez and say, get that one with your Thorn Whip, tell them to play dead.
Mara taps Delvar on the shoulder and goes, "Do you think It's Raining Men and Let the Bodies Hit the Floor are the same song, only told by different perspectives?"
The fuck, Mara? Clues is just sitting next to them. It's like it's going to be like, what?
And out of character. So It Raining Men means the roof's on fire.
No, Have you never heard It's Raining Men?
Yes,
Yeah,
I've
but
heard
like,
it's raining men, but what's that got to do with the roof being on fire?
No. Let the bodies hit the floor.
yeah,
Just move it down.
the roof is off.
No.
Yeah, but before the bodies hit the floor, the roof is already on fire. Is that the reason?
Anyway,
Is that the problem? Is like the roof on fire, and then because the roof is on fire, people artificially starts rain, but it's apparently some kind of weird man rain.
I mean, yes. But also it could still fire could still burn even though there's rain.
I mean, that's accurate, especially when it's raining men, which are not effective at putting out fires.
Yes. Rain is actually not really like a really great thing to put out fires. Also, it still smells like smoke outside.
Oh no! All right, well,
you live in California.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of a
but
default
I'm nowhere near
now.
the fires.
You say that, and then we zoom out slightly, and it's like 5 feet away.
Look, you're not near the fires until the fire is near you.
No, like
we're nowhere in Sahara. We still get the sand.
It could just be that it's really, really hot, so it's currently baking my poor pine tree, so it just smells like hot pine. Which is actually a really nice smell, but yeah. You know.
You hear steps again, but this time, and they're like human steps. And this time they don't, like, there's no poison cloud. There's just sort of like step. You can hear it, step, 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 clue, and some
How
whispering.
much of Three Stooges is about to happen, Kristi?
Yeah, because there's still barbarians over there.
Yep.
And I do not know if they noticed them.
All right, so 2 land on the ground, or actually 2 kind of like step off and try to position themselves. What is the ball bearing? Is it a dexterity saving throw? I need to.
Yeah, I want to say it's like a
13.
11 or 12. Oh, is it a 13?
No, it's somewhere between a 10. I was thinking.
If you know they're
like
there, it's just difficult to rain. If you're trying to save against it, it is.
I think the first time they would have to save against
DC 10 dexterity saving
throw. Okay, it was a 10,
a
basic 10. Okay, all right. Mm-hmm. I can use their sheet. Let me before I roll.
DC 10 dex save for full prone.
Okay,
that's it.
All right, make sure that these aren't whispered. Whisper, never whisper rolls. Oh, I'm really glad I looked before I rolled. I hate when that happens. Okay, and so they both need to do a dex saving throw. One falls, prone. One's not. You hear, and some guy goes prone. He's like, "Bob, are you all right?" Yeah, I'm fine. The other 2 are staying on the stairs behind them. And I guess at this point you can click on your token and roll initiative because there's no surprise at this point. Like,
Perry wasn't going for surprise. Perry was going for pure chaos.
Oh yay!
Nice.
I didn't roll like shit this time.
Right, so Perry rolls shit.
All right.
This is going to roll. Absolutely abysmally.
Oh, I guess I didn't have the drow roll last time, so I will need to do that for them. Let me, I'll just have Jarlaxle stand in. He's got a good dex.
Thankfully, so far, we haven't needed the drow.
Yes, true. Although, do you want them in the lineup? Anyway?
I mean, it's one less thing for you to have to deal with.
Okay.
There is that. I would have saved them for the wonderful, horrible beasts that are coming.
All right, that's fine. If you decide you want him back in the lineup, just let me know. Because for some reason it didn't go in, but that's okay. I thought I rolled it, but it didn't show up. Now, I have a question. These lot are beefier than the gazers. And it is currently 20 to 10.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm thinking it's not, it might just be better to maybe wrap up a bit earlier today. And in fact, instead, on the assumption that you're all going to live, what we could maybe do if you wanted to is I do have some like role playing to do with, okay, we could just end the session. Right. yeah, or I would say like we can kind of role play, but then we're doing stuff out of time, so maybe that's not the best idea. So yeah, and then we'll start with basically kind of like the big, this part of the battle before it started the next session, and then we can take as long as we need because there are 4 guys there. They are way beefier, and there are still another 6 behind them. So
yep,
it's gonna be
this could take a while.
Yeah.
We've got plenty of muscle to us. We can take them.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, but it's gonna take a hot second.
Yeah, it might take basically most of the next session to actually, kill all these off, so you can then face the Grell and liberate Gnarl from his undercover work.
And before we end this session, can I just say, fuck the Guardian with a fucking rusty cactus.
God, now what did they do? Turf Central?
When don't they?
Murder of I've posted it in the Discord, but using the murder of Sarah Everard to launch an attack on trans women.
What?
That was the woman that got killed by that policeman, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I remember when I used to like the Guardian. Now I can't
Most of the
stand
time
them.
they're fairly good. It's just
Turfies.
you seem to get onto trans issues and it all goes, hey, let's shit on these people.
Yeah. Like, how do you call yourself progressives? I don't get it. All right. Well, there was no valid token for this. Oh, apparently Jarlaxle got rejected by roll 20. That's all right. Yeah. Come back to see how basically the end of Dragon Heist, the campaign. We're in the closing moments, really. Once you leave this, you're free. Hey, so a little bit, since we have a bit of time, we might not next time. I would ask you to think about what the party wants to do after this, because also, to be honest, if you do finish this up next time, it would help me prep. For instance, if you wanted to do downtime activities, if you were interested in following up on this Xanathar lead, then I can get those maps ready. Do people have an idea of, like, assuming everything goes fine, what the party might want to do? I've thrown so many things at you, and so because.
Yeah, not really 100% sure, right?
Yeah, I think it's just maybe something in the Discord you can talk about, when you all get back. Because it's I assume that you're going to kind of like create some sort of plan to deal with the money, and we role playing whatever the party decides how to handle that. And then probably like a party and a long weekend.
Yeah, a good nap.
Yeah. And whatever else kind of role playing falls out of that, but sort of like, okay, now you've got basically all of Faerun. You don't have missions per se. You have things you said you would do, but you don't have a timetable anymore. So yeah, have a think about post-Dragon Heist life, because from now on, we don't have a campaign to follow. What we follow is what people end up, like, from the various choices we put out there, like how the party wants to, what order they want to handle things.
Well, we kind of do have a time limit, because 2 weeks.
The slavery incident. Well,
yeah, although there are things that you could do before those 2 weeks, like
traveling out to Haydar's Folly is not going to be ideal. Although you can probably get there in a day, and because Haydar's Folly, which is near Amphill, isn't that far away.
Yeah, so these are the kinds of things that you all maybe in the Discord can start discussing. Because, you'll have 2 weeks. You would now have access to a lot more information and time to plan. So you don't have to use all that time just planning.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm just planting seeds so that when you say, now we're going to do this, I'm like, okay, I have nothing prepared. So this is, yes. Well, come back, as I said, next week, and we will see how the adventure ends. So until then, it's goodbye from me and goodbye from the party. Say goodbye, party.
Goodbye, party.
They did the bit. All right, off air.